Hello and welcome to this week's Weekly Wind-Up with me, Dave Hodgson. Art therapy is a form of psychotherapy that uses art media as its primary mode of expression and communication. It's used as a medium to address emotional issues which may be confusing and distressing for the client. Art therapists work with children, young people, adults and elderly people. Clients may have a wide range of difficulties, disabilities or diagnoses. These include emotional, behavioural or mental health problems, learning or physical disabilities, life-limiting conditions, neurological conditions and physical illnesses. Calderdale Art Psychotherapy Centre is now under threat of closure, and today we've got Norah Hamill and we've got Madeleine to talk about the centre. Hello Norah and Madeleine. Thanks very much indeed for coming in first of all. I think let's start with a broad brush, shall we? What is art psychotherapy, and can you tell me about the centre in Calderdale itself?
For myself, I got recommended for art psychotherapy because I'd had medium and short-term therapies that had failed me. My catalyst for requiring therapy and support was the loss of a lot of immediate family and bereavement, really.
Sort of mental trauma?
Yeah, but mental trauma, anxiety and stuff can affect us in a variety of ways. The way we can't eat or conduct ourselves, panic attacks, anxiety. So then you can get IBS and...
what's IBS?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I bet you're glad you asked.
I'm really pleased that we've sorted that one out.
Care to be informative, Anyway, so for myself, I had no support network, no immediate family and no friends. I'd become quite reclusive. But I've always done art, singing, songwriting and that. But with the art psychotherapy, it's not necessarily about the art, it's about the process, it's about the psychotherapy. So they'll speak through things and encourage you to open up. But sometimes where people struggle over finding the words and a place to start, then you can start with a drawing.
Right. So how long has the place been running, and how many people has it helped in the time that it's been open?
I don't think we can give any definite figures. I know I accessed the unit first in 1997, and it's about 60 people use the service at one go, and that's either group or individual work.
But currently approximately 60 service users at this time.
Right.
But there was a waiting list of over 2 years, but a year and a half ago, because the Trust had the intention of closing the centre down, it terminated the waiting list, which wasn't very nice of them.
No, I can imagine. So how did you hear about this closure coming up? Was it out of the blue, or did you get a lot of warning? What was the situation?
Users returned after the Christmas holidays, and they were told by the therapists that they were going to be that they'd been given forced redundancies over the Christmas period.
There was everybody was suddenly given a 5 week wind down period. So, for example, for myself, I'd had 2 years to 2 years and a bit waiting time for becoming a service user. Approximately 11 and a half months into accessing the therapy, and then given 5 weeks to wind down on the therapy, which is ridiculous.
Not a lot, is it? No, absolutely. So how did it affect the rest of the staff and your clients?
Well, the staff that were in the psychotherapy unit, they were moved to a different relocation, and the only people that were left were the 2 art therapists. Now, the art therapists provide not just the art therapy, but they also provide a crisis point. But because of the movements of the various groups within the Trust, it's meant that that crisis point is no longer available for many of the users. So that's had further impact on people's mental health.
Yeah. So is there anything to replace it at all? Does it just all come to a grinding, shuddering halt in Calderdale at a time when people with, shall we say, mental stress, mental difficulties, disability with illnesses that have affected their mental state, is it just going to come to a grinding, crashing halt?
It would have done if Swift had their way. They were intending to close the department on the 31st of March, but because of the actions of a group of users that got together, they have stopped that. We've got a state of execution. There was media awareness that we created, but also there was legal action taken because the trust had not kind of legally did their care of duty in relation to the NHS 2006
So they kept to the letter of the contract?
No, they didn't even do that. So that's why there's legal action being
I see.
taken.
Right.
And on that
Failing
point,
consultation.
yeah, so they didn't consult, they didn't have a care plan put in action for the service users. So because that was put in place, the legal action, then the trust went back and kind of has taken away the forced redundancies. So we've got a state of execution, but
It's pending
But
proper
that's all it is.
consultation.
This
It's
is-
pending proper
yeah.
consultation, so the service isn't saved, it's not secure at
No,
all.
this is not, oh gosh lads, we see the light now, let's keep it open.
However large or small your business, attracting new customers requires dedication and a lot of patience. Just like fishing, but you also need the right gear. Rods,
reels, lines, hooks, sinkers, lures, tackle box, tackle bag, net, bait, gas gloves, clothes, pocket knife, roach.
or you could simply advertise with KLTV. Online, grow your business and your clientele. KLTV, your vision made reality. Should have gone to KLTV.
Right, well, staff were given the redundancies at the centre and said it would be closed by the 31st of March. What are you all going to do when if it does close?
There's a lot of people who are already feeling suicidal, they're feeling despondent, they're feeling anxious, they're feeling like they've got no support whatsoever. You can't wind people down in a 5-week period when they've been building up to long-term strategies and building up with tools, because it's coping mechanisms, tools and structure for being able to cope with very difficult circumstances and traumas. So basically there's a lot of service users without any support whatsoever or interaction even with other people. So basically what they're doing is they're giving them a death sentence. It's really serious.
Well, there you are, everybody. That is really sorry, but very sort of almost becoming a normal sort of tale of facilities suddenly becoming unavailable to the most vulnerable people in society, isn't it?
But I think that we should be able to take power back from the trust. They are not helping the NHS, and I think it would be really good if a local group like the CQC could. Decentralisation, that's what we need for all of the things.
Understood, and please can we have the people at the point of contact running it rather than the people in the cash office?
Yes.
Right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much to Norah Hamill and Madeleine Brooks for being on today. And if you just happen to work for the health service, or for Swift, by that matter, get in touch with us. Tell us your side of the story. If you'd like to comment on this story, please contact us on Twitter at The Weekly Wind-Up and on Facebook, or you can email us at info@kirklees.com. This is Dave Hodgson signing off for Weekly Wind-Up. Join us again on Wednesday when we'll be looking at motorists testing positive for drugs while driving. It's been great to be with you again. On behalf of all the crew and our guests, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.